was that?
For those of you that are curious, Ryan will be doing the vocals on our upcoming project.
You ready to hear a scream?
Yeah.
Yo, dude, what's good?
That's incredible.
That's like a death metal scream right there, bro.
Yeah, what it do? Yeah, yeah.
like some grindcore mixed with like Limp Bizkit.
AC/DC. Yeah. Fucking play. That's what our vocals are gonna sound like.
Dude, I love it. Oh my god. Anyway, welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, hey guys. Hey,
oh yeah,
everybody.
they're here too.
Yeah, hey, what up, homies?
What up? We were just having a moment there.
Yeah, we forgot the cameras were on, and that we have headphones and microphones, and
we got other shit in the room too, just in case.
But we're not even a minute in, dog.
We're not even a minute in, and Ryan pulls out the weapons.
I'm gonna keep these on deck. Because we're security guard for the divine feminine.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, is that what? Okay.
Yeah, so it's like anybody talks shit about the lady, you
think you could stop a bullet with one of those?
Ryan has size like Raphael from Ninja Turtles and lightsabers.
You can choose your weapons. That's up to you, man. But
Look,
anyway.
man, divine feminine is all about nurturing. Okay, there's no violence.
Yeah, but we're male avatars protecting her in battle. But the battle is metaphor. and the battle is people don't believe in her anymore.
Yo, what are you on right now?
Tea and MCT oil and cookies
and divine feminine
and Bojangles and
divine feminine energy.
Yeah, that's it, bro.
So divine feminine is something that we have talked about a lot on this show, but we have yet to like kind of devote an episode to diving deep on exactly what the divine feminine is and our feelings towards it and why it's important to us. Obviously, the lady is a huge part of the Bledsoe story, the Bledsoe canon. So that injects a lot of that divine feminine energy. But it is much, much, much larger than that, and it's much older than that too.
It's probably like one of the most very utmost important subjects in all of this reality, because it's like it begs the question, dude, like, for minimum 2,000 years, our whole collective consciousness has been like enslaved by this belief that there's only a Father God who just comes down and impregnates people whenever he wants. Mm-hmm. The Greeks were saying it was Zeus. The Judaic / Islamic / Christian faith has been saying it, like this almighty, like totally removed Father God just comes down and like impregnates people, and like it's just been this constant concept for the last few thousand years in Western society that oh yeah, by the way, like the feminine aspect, she's like this little 13-year-old girl who's just like a vessel for God to just like impregnate, and then it's like
weird.
Shh, like Mary, shut up, you're just the mother of the son of the one true God, and it's like this perversion of the truth, right?
It's perversion, it's suppression, it's like, yeah, it's basically like women are useless. The divine comes from God, which is man, and whatever.
It's like Mormonism, bro. Like, I don't want to step on any toes here. I love like people for who they are, no matter what they believe or what background they come from. But just like, for example, like Mormonism, dude, like that's probably one of the biggest examples of this in the world. Like the chaotic like explosion of this really fucked up concept to where, dude, the ultimate like final level of their shit is like the whole reason women incarnate here is to be vessels for men, so that like they keep having children with them, and then when they die and they move on to another life, they populate planets with the souls that the woman is just like, they're just like baby makers for souls, It's like this whole world is fucked up. So we kind of wanted to do a reality canon reset and just talk about the truth a little bit.
Yeah.
So the truth is that you can look at nature and you can see everything has a masculine and a feminine opposite, and the true force of divinity, or the true force of magic, or the force of creation, life, which is a force. Mm-hmm. There's a force driving life, like a very intelligent, powerful force. It's like this field of consciousness, like Star Wars describes. But that force is only found when the two pairs, or the two opposites, or the two poles are reconciled. Mm-hmm. It's like think about a magnet. There's no force in each individual piece. It's just the piece. It's just a part of the puzzle. But then when you bring those magnets closer and closer and you reconcile them being opposites, or in other words, like you merge the two and you bring them in balance or in harmony, there's a real force between them fucking things. Like they start dancing around, the magnets, it bringing them together.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most important traditional Western occult concepts of all time, is that the universe can be described, or like the manifestations of consciousness can be described as like magnetism, attraction, and vibration and frequency and energy. It's like the Rosicrucians, the Masons, all these wannabe fucking like gatekeepers of the truth. They know this.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, and the reason I'm saying this is not to bring people to the occult. It's not to like bring people to study these like alchemical circles. In all reality, it's like what we're really trying to do here is we're trying to show you like, that's cool if you're not into the divine feminine. That's cool if you're not into this. That's cool if you're not into the consciousness, the energy, the vibration, whatever. But like the most elite people running the world, like even they're into it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
You're missing a major piece.
You're missing some important shit because, no offense to you, anybody out there who is, I don't even know why you'd be listening at this point if they don't know, like 61st episode. But anyway, I'm just saying anybody in the future who's listening, like if you're not open to the concept of there being like a dual aspect of the divine, it's like, I'm sorry to say, but like you're being held back a grade.
1,000%.
You just haven't passed the test at this point. In reality, it's like for any one conscious living person with the maturity of at least like a young adult or somebody who understands like what's up, to know that like there are these elite secret societies running the world. There's pretty much fucking proof of this.
Oh, totally.
With like the Rothschild families and the Rockefeller families and the Vanderbilts and the fucking Sinclairs and the Aldo Brandinis. That's some secret shit right there. And the 13 bloodlines of the Illuminati. Like there are all these powerful families, the DuPonts, I can't even name them all off the top of my head. These billionaire, trillionaire oligarchs that are like running the world, and they're having these little occult rituals and occult practices and shit. And it's like, not to get dark, but I'm saying like, if you know all this, if you like are into conspiracies and you know that there's like real evidence of like this alternative thinking from these elite groups who are clearly demonstrating and proving that they have the power to control this reality through their knowledge of the spirit realities and how to like manifest that on a larger scale. A, there's got to be some truth to this shit. And B, it's like, the beings are showing up. If you're here 62 episodes in, you probably have like a shred of an inkling of belief that like my dad really did see this lady, and you're probably like open to what she said. And she basically said, yeah, there's a dark fucking group. They know that it's all about consciousness, and they're trying to trick the world into believing it's about aliens and to suppress the divine feminine, which has been done for thousands of years. And once the world comes back to the truth, that there is a divine mother, a divine force of consciousness that loves us and nurtures us and like is here to heal us and bring us back to the vibration of love. That's how we enter the age of Aquarius.
Yeah. And if you have followed that story and the story of the lady and stuff, you've probably done a little of your own research and found that she has been showing up throughout time. Always. It's
not just a my family thing.
No.
It's just like a recent one.
Yeah. And it's not just like a current modern day thing.
Exactly.
It's been happening for
forever.
Thousands and forever.
It's the story.
Yeah.
It's the most important fucking story.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but like
go.
This has got me on like a trauma dump rant.
Go.
Because I've never done the divine feminine.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing. Like it pisses me off, and it shouldn't, but I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to heal, but it pisses me off being like this 13-year-old kid growing up. Now I'm 29 and like I don't have to overstate, or I don't have to grandstand, or like sit here and showboat about like the shit that I've been through. Like once I hit a point when I was like 24, 25 and we had these photos of being at these like CIA parties and shit, I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like I don't necessarily have to prove myself anymore.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is I've been in crazy situations from seeing these beings. I've met crazy ass fucking people, like Illuminati people. I've met people in the Department of Defense who basically said, yeah, like, you know, we're in the Illuminati. We like gatekeep the secrets of consciousness and these beings, and we just don't think the world is ready for it yet, kind of shit. Like, we've met these people.
Yeah.
Met, I don't want to go into all the billionaire type 1%ers that we've touched hands with, and things like that. But the point I'm getting at is, it pisses me off to just like go out into the public and see the bullshit that the TV and the narrative and the media is putting out. Like, oh my God, Congress passed a new bill. They're going to keep track on UAP fucking T3B Triangle Black Crafts because they jammed our radar. And it's like, shut your fucking mouth. I got my size, bro. Shut the fuck up, bro. It ain't about that. It's a lie. And it kills me because it's like, it kills me.
You're channeling Green Man energy right now.
I am, dude. It's about the lady. That's what it's all about. No. And it's like, that's why I went and grabbed the weapons before it started. I got your back.
You're fighting for her.
I have Raphael's size right now if you're audio only. We do have video, by the way.
Yeah, get on YouTube.
Anyway, so, it fucking kills me and infuriates me because...
Dude, it's a plan. It's a plan. It's been planned. It's a machine. Things are unfolding the way that the 1%ers have wanted them to unfold for literally thousands of years. This is what they wanted. Do you think that the shit that came out of the Vatican, what, a couple thousand years ago, is the one true divine ancient truth?
Bro, they're raping kids.
They're literally defiling children. Like, we don't... How are you going to accept that as truth? They're telling you Father, Son, Holy Spirit. That's the thing. But the truth is, like, the ancient truth is it's the Father, the Son, the Father, the Mother, and the Son.
Yep.
The Father, the Mother, and the Son. It's the Trinity of creation, life. Like, that's the true key.
But then the next part is, hold that thought, please. But we are the Son.
Exactly. We like the human race. If we are the son, the quote unquote son. Like, we are the offspring of divine energy, and we are here to experience ourselves and to learn the ultimate profound lesson of love and light. That's what we're here to do. But that message did not vibe with what the Vatican was trying to do in a couple thousand years ago. They wanted to maintain control. There were literally meetings of every major sect of the Christian faith. There were literally meetings where they came together and they decided on the universal quote unquote truths of the Christian faith. They decided that Jesus was a divine entity that was non-human, was literally a God figure. They decided that his birthday was December 25th. They decided on the 10 commandments, the laws of the world. They literally got together and wrote the Bible a couple thousand years ago and pretended it was older. Like, obviously they pulled from things like the Dead Sea Scrolls and they completely shoved the Nag Hammadi scrolls aside and took all those out. Weren't there hundreds of books?
The Nag Hammadi scrolls?
No, in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Hundreds?
I'm not sure. But
and they whittled it down to like 60?
Yeah. There's 66 books in the Bible. There were at least 50 hidden gospels.
They did all that.
Gospels, bro.
Yes, there was a gospel of Mary Magdalene.
There was a gospel of Judas.
Yeah.
Mary, Thomas.
Yep.
James.
Enoch.
That's not a gospel.
Oh, no, not a gospel.
It's a book.
Right,
it's a book.
The book of Enoch,
but there were 50 gospels, bro.
50.
And they pulled, certain 4. By the way, this is going to hurt a lot of people's feelings, but in the very beginning of the book of Mark, the only place where it directly states that Jesus Christ is like the divinely born Son of God was in the book of Mark. Mm-hmm. When the very beginning it says something like, could you pull up the very beginning of the book of Mark real quick, Alex? It says something like, this is the story of Jesus, the Son of God, or something like that. Mm-hmm. But dude, like, you talk to any scholar, there's like timestamps on when these manuscripts are edited throughout the last few thousand years in the Vatican archives.
Yeah.
That shit was added in way after the fact. Like the original did not begin with this is the story of Jesus. And like if you read the Gospels, he never says, like assuming like any inkling of his words are true, Jesus never says, I'm the Son of God, everybody. I'm the Messiah. I'm here to say. He doesn't say that. He's like kind of mysterious. He's just like fucking with people, and they're like, "Who are you? Are you the Son of God? Are you the Messiah?" And he's just like, "I am who you say I am."
Yeah,
I am who I am.
It's like, designed. It's all by design. The Vatican wanted to suppress. What do you think the Salem witch trials were about, where they literally murdered millions of women? It was because these women.
Was it millions?
It was millions. There are confirmed tens of thousands, but many scholars believe. I did research on this. It was likely millions.
Okay, I've never heard that, but that's crazy,
dude. The Vatican is known to do shit like this. They've always done shit like this, but the reason that they did it is because these women that they were murdering, these witches, quote unquote, were literally just like following ancient religions and ancient beliefs that were way older than the Vatican, that worshipped divine feminine energy. And because that didn't vibe with what they literally decided the Bible says and what they decided the Christian religion believes, they murdered potentially millions of women because they worship the divine feminine energy.
There's a crazy
Does that sound evil?
Theory.
Does that sound evil? Because that's evil. That's evil. And why? And in my opinion, it's like, knowing that, how could you follow that faith to the T? And I'm not saying you shouldn't be Christian, you shouldn't be Catholic, you should. I'm saying, and actually, we're gonna do another shout out to Mr. J.
Yeah, Mr. J.
Yeah, I was talking to him last weekend about this, where I was saying, like, I'm a big proponent of all religions. I believe that there's good in just about every religion.
Yeah.
But the one thing, if I could get everyone on the planet to listen to me about one simple thing, it's when your religion tells you that you have to take every single word in the book verbatim. No
matter how bad it makes you feel inside.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no matter what your intuition is telling you, like, then it's wrong. So in my personal humble opinion, worship whatever God you want to worship, follow whatever religion you want to follow, but above that, trust your intuition and pull the pieces that benefit you. Pull the pieces that enrich your soul and enrich your life, and cast aside the pieces that you don't agree with. The issue is most religions tell you can't do that, and that's evil.
See, I have a slightly different approach. I think we're at a point in consciousness now where we finally have the tools to understand the truth that, like, there's one universal mind, and we don't need to worship idols anymore.
Oh, right.
We don't need to worship like pagan icons and like egregores and like things like that, because
the thing about that is, though, that a lot of people with a modern understanding of those things, they do that more as symbolism. You know, they're not literally worshiping an icon or whatever, but they're more doing it as a ritual because they understand the thing that those idols symbolize. You know, it's like they symbolize things about consciousness.
Yeah.
I think each idol, each whatever you want to call them, they represent a piece of consciousness. But no, I agree with you that, like, there's no need to worship some external deity for your salvation.
Don't fuck around with the lower shit.
Right. It's in you. It's in you.
Like, just understand the fucking truth. Like, you're a piece of the one consciousness.
Yeah.
That one consciousness in this manifested plane expresses itself as dual. And what that means is, see, the dark occults are all like, it's this one androgynous Lucifer being. And that's why the Statue of Liberty was given to us by the French Freemasons as like this secret, like, it's an illuminist statue of a man with the crown of Ishtar with it's actually esoterically a man.
Yeah,
it's Lucifer.
Yeah,
but it has the crown of Ishtar and it has this torch of illumination. And I don't remember what the books are or what it's holding in its other hand. But like there's always this left hand path occulted message coming out, like the Baphomet, like Solvet Coagula, like break down, all of your energies and merge into one being. But like that's not the truth. The truth is, like, being in harmony with the energies, understanding there is a divine feminine and masculine side of consciousness and flowing with those energies and accepting them for what they are and not trying to like break them down and like control them to transcend to be a god, like that whole like do what thou wilt, I am a god because I have broken down these energies inside of me. That's dark shit.
You still want Mark 1?
Yeah, sure. Kind of past the conversation, but
yeah. No, I mean, I had it pulled up, but you guys were flowing. So.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Cut me off, bro. I don't care. I'll just come at you with my side.
The beginning of the gospel about Jesus Christ, the Son of God. It is written in Isaiah the prophet, I will send my messenger ahead of you who will prepare your way.
Yeah, that shit was added in much later. And as far as I know, that's the only literal reference of Jesus being the Son of God was that little text right there.
Wow. I have a question for you. I just want to explore this thought a little bit.
Sure.
Do you think that it's possible for like masculine and feminine energy to live in complete harmony within one person?
Yeah, for sure. I think Jesus was the example of that. Think about the story, bro. He was like this carpenter. There's no evidence that he was jacked or ripped. I just love saying that because it's funny.
There is evidence. It's this show.
Yeah, he's jacked.
Yeah, the evidence is my intuition.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the evidence. Yeah, the evidence is like duh. Like
obviously.
Yeah, no, but like he was a carpenter. He was like this very like. He was the Lion of Judah, like this archetypal king prince energy, but then also symbolic of being like the bridegroom of Christ. You know what I mean? Like, I think the story of these sages, like the Buddhas, the Jesus, the Hermes Trismegistus, is the perfect representation of one being like, particularly in some of these instances, a male avatar born with the ability to channel feminine energy to change reality. Because would you mind Googling?
That's awesome.
Google, I think it's Shakti feminine energy, Shakti.
And you know about like the Native American like two-spirit thing, right?
Like the wolves inside of you, or
that's just symbology. But like Native Americans, and well, not just Native Americans, a lot of indigenous cultures, like what are they called? Inuits.
Inuits is Alaska. That's right. Indigenous people of Alaska.
I was trying to remember if that's like the proper term for it because I know one of them has become like derogatory. I think it might be the Eskimos or whatever, but
yeah.
So the dynamic energy that is responsible for creation, maintenance, and destruction of the universe.
I might have had you look up the wrong thing.
Shakti, the power of the feminine Asia society.
I'm gonna look something up real quick.
So in a lot of indigenous, like even indigenous, like in Australia and New Zealand, but also prominently in Native Americans, they have this belief that a person can be born with two spirits and inside of one body, and they have a masculine and a feminine spirit inside of them. And it's actually really interesting because there are people to this day that identify as dual spirit people. And a lot of those people outwardly in society would identify as like non-binary. You know what I'm saying? It's like they have, but this is an ancient indigenous belief that one person can have two spirits inside of them, and a masculine and a feminine spirit. And it's not that they have two personalities because their body kind of, we talk about all the time. You're not your body. Your soul and your body are different. So it's like their body can project a single personality, but they have dual spirits inside of them. Masculine and feminine. Yeah,
the body is a microcosm of your spirit. It's like it's like how you project yourself into this world, how you're seen by others, how you view yourself are all little microcosmic representations of the state of like bliss or suffering that your soul is in. It's like heaven and hell are a mindset. It's like you choose, bro. But if you keep giving into these like automatic patterns of like, I'm just going to keep waking up every day and just falling to the vices that control me and complaining about it and not doing anything to change it and this and that. And then like, you're going to manifest that hell state of being, that hell state of life through your thoughts, through the negativity, through the emotional strife and struggling and self-suppression and kind of like bitterness towards things around you. It's like you're going to manifest being in hell, but paying attention to the opposite side of that, paying attention to the happiness and the positivity and the light and the truth and like inviting the truth into you, which is that we are microcosmic reflections of the divine, and we have the tools and literally the righteous inherited power from our parents, the divine, to use our fucking consciousness to alter reality just like they do. You know, we can also manifest heaven in this life. And I think that's only possible when being aware of both feminine and masculine energies.
Totally. And I think it's like you said, it's about reconciling those energies within yourself. It's not like we're saying like procreation. It's not literally procreation. It's not like literally in order to be divine, you have to procreate. That's not what we're saying. We're saying inside of yourself, recognize and reconcile masculine and feminine energy.
Yeah, but it's like, to take it a step further, it's like the ancient myth of the eyes of Horus and Ra. It's one of like extremely important ancient symbols. You know, you see all these people nowadays with like the Eye of Ra tattoo or the Eye of Horus, or like on the dollar bill you see this eye and they're all like, it's the Eye of Lucifer, it's the Eye of Providence, what is it? But in reality, this ancient symbol means we are dual beings, and even our biology is reflective of that. We have like this imaginary center line between us where we have 2 hands, 2 arms, 2 legs, two faded honkers.
I knew you were gonna say that.
What? I mean, I had to like in one fell swoop call back to the Harry Potter and the Neverending Story episode.
That was great.
But you know, it's like we have two sides of the brain, 2 sides of consciousness. Everything in this fucking reality is dual, and it's like that's one of the most important Hermetic principles that people. There's 7 Hermetic principles that when you study these ancient laws of reality, it will help you develop psychic perception. It'll open your consciousness. But anyway, so we're dual. And that's what the eyes of Ra and the eyes of Horus means. The eye of Ra, as the myth goes, is on the right side, and it's the more bright shining sun. And it's also the feminine side, because the story of the eye of Ra is that Ra, this all-powerful, omniscient, like expression of consciousness of the sun, literally symbolic of the sun, out of his eye came Sekhmet the Destroyer, which was this vicious, like it's all myth. It's obviously not literal. And Sekhmet the Destroyer was drunk on the blood of humankind as she was slaughtering them because she was enraged. And then through the myth, I don't exactly remember every single detail of the myth, but then things change, and then she's morphed into beautiful Hathor, the consort and the nurturing, loving mother goddess that comes from the sky to help humanity and weep with her tears and save them from her previous destruction.
Wow.
And
I didn't know that part about Hathor.
And so the Eye of Ra actually is symbolic of the energy of the mother, the divine feminine force of love and consciousness. Obviously, initially in the myth it was bad, but then it changes. Coming out of the eye, like the sun, like the energy coming from the supreme force of consciousness magically and like making change. But the ancient occult perspective, you know, like reality is tied. Science and the spiritual laws are tied because we're in a dual paradox. So like the ancients knew this. They knew that the brain was dual. The right side of the brain is typically intuitive, creative, emotional, passionate, connective type thinking, non-linear, non-logic, non-local thinking.
Which you could potentially draw a parallel to feminine energy. The right being, you just said,
that's the point.
Loving, compassionate, That's
the point. Magical, loving, all that shit is feminine. All the miracles of Jesus, all the miracles of Buddha, that is the feminine force of consciousness. It's miracles, like the Holy Spirit in the Bible. That's the secret. It's all the miracles from the Holy Spirit. It's the mother.
They changed it from Father, Son, Holy Spirit to Father, Son, Mother.
The magic, the
or
love.
From Father, Son, Mother to Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Right. Yeah. The healing comes from the love and it's like the gift of the mother. It's like the force in this multiverse that nurtures your soul and heals you and helps you. That is the mother. Now, back to the eyes of Ra. The left eye is symbolic because it's like the eye of Horus, or the eye of Thoth, depending on the myth, or it's the eye of Khonshu, which is like this deity created on the moon. But
Moon Knight,
Khonshu. But don't get so caught up in like exactly the entity. It's all metaphor.
Right.
The whole like esoteric truth behind it is this is a logical, orderly side. It's this more like rational, masculine, like problem solving, assertive, linear thinking. Think like an architect creating the geometry of this house on a piece of paper. It's like this 2D mock-up of this conscious structure that then will take action to go and manifest this structure to create. It's like that's the difference between the forces of consciousness. Is like one is like, Papa's out there building. Yeah. He's a carpenter. He's building this reality for us. He's the grand architect. He's the mind behind all reality. Yeah. It's like the Matrix, bro. You have the oracle. You have the oracle and the architect.
Yes.
But it's like this mind is just always up in the clouds, just thinking like, man, what about like rolling hills, and what about like this beautiful sea? It's the architect that creates reality, and there's evidence of this in the sacred geometry.
Fibonacci sequence.
Fibonacci sequence, and the cymatics, and the vibration of fucking sand particles on a table, and then it makes beautiful complex shapes. Like there's math and precision, logic.
Yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with the Fibonacci sequence, you've got to look it up. It's basically like the map to the universe. Like everything comes back
to the brainwaves of God.
Yeah, like there are certain mathematical measurements and equations that you can do with your own body, where if you measure things against one another, it will always equal the Fibonacci sequence. Like one of them is like the length of your arm from here to here, and then divide it by here to here, something like that. You can look up the specifics, but like the vast majority, if not all living things in the world, like organic things, obey the Fibonacci sequence.
Absolutely, dude.
If that's not evidence of architect, of design, then what is it? Then what is it?
Like when you're
just a huge coincidence.
Your foot fits
on your forearm
from your wrist to your elbow.
It's like, come on now.
And we've covered this in many episodes, and if you fucking let me, I'll talk about that very thing for an hour, so I don't want to spend too long on it. But like when you get into the Fibonacci sequence, it is the mathematical ratio for a spiral, which, ratios and fractions are like similar but converted things. You know what I mean? Like the ratio is like the decimal points, and then the fraction is like when you're dividing the numbers over I don't remember what the little fucking slab is called that these little imaginary numbers sit on. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But if you convert the ratio to the fraction, it's the Fibonacci sequence is somehow mathematically linked to the golden ratio.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. I mean, I'm not a fucking mathematician.
No. They are the same thing.
But the math checks out. It's the same thing, and it's the math for a spiral.
Yeah, a perfect spiral. Yeah.
Exactly, and this is why the Pythagorean mystery students back in ancient Greece had a 5-pointed star on their hand, and that was their initiation, in order to enter the Pythagorean mystery schools of wisdom.
Damn, I'm gonna get that tattooed on my hand.
That would be pretty dope.
I'll do that.
I would definitely get it on your right hand.
Okay, why?
Honestly, we'll talk about that later.
Okay, cool.
But it's like, it depends. Do you want to receive the energy of it, or do you want to project it into your environment? Because like if we get into the dual being thing, we get into the dual being thing, and it's like, that's why they say you wear certain crystals on your left hand or on your right hand. It's like, or like when you're doing energy transmission or energy channeling, it's like the left hand is symbolic of the side that, no. Let's save this for the next episode. It's mudras and mantras.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm done. We're going to bring that up next time.
Cool.
Jesus.
Good.
Anyway, so point being, like the 5-pointed star, you divide the sections, and it perfectly represents the fucking Fibonacci sequence, which is the mathematical code for an infinite spiral, an infinite spiral of consciousness. So there's like this perfect math behind all of reality, and that's the masculine side of creation, in this manifested material realm. And then the feminine side is the magic, we are like swimming in the divine abyss or the divine womb of the mother force of consciousness, whereas the father force is like raining down this beautiful architecture, this like seed to create what we're in. And it's like people need to think on this level, on the cosmic level. It's like, what the fuck is reality? But this is what pisses me off. You ready? I powered up my lightsaber. I just watched Dragon Ball Z movie in the theater last night, so we're powering up.
Mine doesn't turn on.
It's broken. I'm sorry, bro. Turn it on. No, wait. Did you hit the right button?
This one?
Yeah, I think I left it out.
Damn, dude. It's okay.
I need a new one. I want to get Luke's.
I like this.
I got my lightsaber.
Anyway. Is this Anakin's or Obi-Wan's?
It's Anakin's.
Okay, I thought
I'm
so.
pretty sure it's Anakin's. Anyway, this is what I hate. I despise the fact that these Illuminati motherfuckers, these like 1% motherfuckers are out there and they're tricking people. They're tricking vulnerable people who are just desperate for these higher truths to go on the internet and be like, bro, they're passing another bill to start a UAP task force. Holy shit! They're seeing these crafts, dude. They're seeing these aliens,
so
dude.
loud this episode. I love it.
Oh my God, did you see Jordan Peele's movie? They've got these aliens in these fucking movies, bro.
Why aren't you a voice actor? You need to be a voice actor.
We basically are. We're podcast hosts. You know, like, it's funny, man. Like, not to be too meta or whatever the fuck, but you look at our numbers and it's like 3 or 4 times the amount of people purely listen to the show than watch.
True, yeah.
They may have never even seen our fucking faces.
Yeah.
Dude, we're so
lightsabers?
sexy. Me and Nick are sexy as fuck, by the way, dude. We're like models. They've never seen our faces.
Oh, right.
Just go with it, dude.
Yes.
Go with it, dude.
We're chiseled. We have 6-pack
Yeah, we're
abs.
ripped.
We're basically the spitting image of Jack Jesus.
I'm jacked as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I've got like 20-inch biceps.
I have a perfect hairline. My hair is beautiful and flowing and long. Yeah.
And you got a face for radio.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Alex is over here being quiet because
he's actually hot.
yeah, like every time somebody sees him for the first time, they're like, he's hot as fuck.
Yeah. Why do you think we keep him off camera?
Yeah, man, we're gonna fall apart
true,
at the very seams if you keep revealing this shit.
Yeah, sorry. I'm Green Man right now, unveiling all the secrets of our society.
Yeah, it just pisses me off, man. It deeply hurts me as a human being to have like been through a lot of the things that I've been through and understand, like, at least in my experience, which I would say is pretty crazy. I mean, for the people out there watching, it's kind of like, holy shit, like that guy's been through some crazy shit. I recognize that, like, I really have been through crazy shit, and it's like my mind compartmentalizes, like, people still think I'm crazy. They still think this, they still think that. But like, in my experience, with the conversations that I've had with these elite people, they are desperate to know why the fuck the lady wants to come to our house. What does she want? What does she want, Chris? What does she want? You're supposed to be telling us every time they show up. Oh my God, don't put out those TikToks. They're going to blow up ahead of, because we put out a TikTok with Olivia that was getting 1 million views. Oh my God, they're going to blow out ahead of government disclosure. They're going to blow up. And it's like, oh my God, Chris, please, you have to call us the second you have like another face-to-face entity contact. We're talking like people with US Gov as caller ID, like Washington, D.C., Department of Defense, like back in shady and dank fucking operation facilities that are not supposed to be like public knowledge kind of shit. Yeah. You know, we're talking to these black ops types intelligence people, and everything that I've ever witnessed from these conversations is either A, they tried to convince us it was like dark reptilian shit, or they're evil demonic tricksters who want to like molest people and create these terrific homosexual erotic experiences and all this evil nasty shit, or they're like desperate to beg us. By the way, I'm not saying the homoerotic thing is evil or nasty. What I'm trying to say is they're spinning it that way to make us.
They're bastardizing it and making it look evil.
I just realized it sounded really bad, but
good for you for clarifying.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. Is they're like they're out there like either trying to change our story or privately try to get us to change our story, but then they're also like, but you got to go tell it. It's going to change the world.
Yeah,
it's going to change the world. Please, we believe in you. We believe in you.
Pick a lane.
We believe in you, dude. And then it's like also. They're also like desperate for information why she's coming to our property. Yeah. Dude, they fucking made my dad write an entire report to the Pentagon about just what that lady said to us. It's like, they're scared. They're scared. The fucking, I'm being Alex Jones, dude.
Oh no, don't. We can't say his name.
We can say his name.
He's like the Dark Lord. We can't say his name. Whoa, it worked.
Dude, it worked.
Oh my God.
Clash for me.
No.
Dude, the lightsaber was dead and now it worked.
It's resurrected.
Holy shit, y'all gotta watch that one on YouTube.
Yeah, you gotta see that one.
That shit was broken because we were evicted from our house where we had all the experiences. Long story, not anything I'm gonna go into deeply publicly, has nothing to do with UFO shit, but we lost the house.
Yeah.
And this poor lightsaber was in storage for like 6 years. Well, so I'm surprised it works.
She has been revived.
Out in the...
The audio listeners are fucked this episode.
You just hear breathing and like off in the distance lightsaber
That's literally
noises.
Star Wars.
Yo, we're trying to. Can I be real with our lovely Omies? If you're at home listening right now and you're just like wondering like what the fuck are these people doing right now, we're just trying to have some fun. We're just trying to like transcend, typical podcast medium.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about this earlier, how a lot of the typical podcast or show or whatever that talks about these very deep, mystical, things and conspiracies and talks about the stuff that we talk about on this show, oftentimes, like, I'm not even going to try to put it in a nice way. It's just boring. It's just like really boring and makes you want to fall asleep. It's like, it doesn't have to be doom and gloom and scary and like information dumps and shit.
I've lived that shit.
Yeah, it sucks.
Don't want to put it on other people.
No, it sucks. We're here playing with lightsabers and shit and telling you that like spirituality is dope and feminine energy is dope and like playing with lightsabers being silly, goofy, because that's how you should live. Have fun. Life is fun. Like, it's really dope and fun, and like, don't buy into the fear. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to show you by example.
You know what's crazy, bro? Like, I just had a weird lucid moment, but like, I just glitched there. I glitched there. Dude, I've had nothing but I've had no energy drinks in 6 days. Like, I haven't had an energy drink, and I'm not sitting here saying like people shouldn't. I'm just saying for me it was a clutch.
Well,
you know me,
Ryan.
Like, for me it was bad. It was like I was at such a deficit of energy and so much chronic fatigue all the time.
Like that for years.
Well, it turns out I have autoimmune disease, or like a not like fucking AIDS, but I have like,
right.
They don't know if it's IBS. They think it's IBS, and I'm kind of wondering because like when I fast, all those symptoms go away. I don't know, not here nor there, but like my skin is breaking out in this heavy eczema shit, and
so what was your lucid moment that you said you just had?
it's just like I have like a crazy amount of energy right now, like cutting off a lot of these harsh substances that have been.
Yeah, Duncan, we quit vaping for you. We did it.
Well, we did it for us, but
right, of course, yeah. But it happened as a result of
how funny of a story is that? Like,
it's great.
It's so funny that like we have Duncan Trussell on the show. We had no clue that he was like into that or whatever, and I've never had never publicly acknowledged that I was like vaping nicotine or whatever, because I'm like, people are just so judgmental.
Sure,
who gives a fuck? Like, I don't care if. I'll just keep this to myself, it's not a big deal. It's just a habit.
It's a human carnal like impulse. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just a habit.
It's just a fun little whatever.
But then Duncan came on and made it a persona.
Yeah.
And then we like jumped in on the persona and went like 100%. And then within days we were like, yeah, let's quit. Let's quit. Like, Duncan told us to quit. Let's quit. Like, that's a powerful motherfucker.
No, totally.
That he walks up on the show and he says, don't vape. And then we're done.
Yeah, we're done.
Like, thank you.
And honestly,
Okay.
I do feel much better afterwards.
I do too.
Yeah.
I feel a lot better. I feel a lot more.
I am so proud of you guys.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thank you, dude.
No, like seriously, I'm not even being a character here. Like, genuinely proud.
No, thank you. That really does mean a lot. I have a shout out, Raven. I love you. I have a friend. Him and Nathan both have smoked cigarettes pretty much as long as I've known them, and vape and all that stuff. And they both recently quit. And I'm so proud of you guys.
That's
and
awesome.
So thank you, Alex. That means a lot.
I also have I want to go out of the box just a second.
Let's do it.
Give a very special
box,
shout
bro.
out on this episode to Matthew and Valerie.
All your
Matthew and
coworkers?
Valerie.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Matthew and
No,
Valerie.
thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening. It's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so
super
sweet.
cool.
Thank
Yeah.
you guys. Thank you guys so much. Hey, where are we at with time?
45 minutes. The same point
exact
you asked
point?
me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had an interesting question that I think it would be cool to explore this, the three of us.
Okay.
So, we're talking on this episode about the importance of the divine feminine energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how it's been removed throughout history, it's been hidden, it's been whatever.
Yeah, the importance. Good point.
So the thing I'd like to bring up is for the listeners and for the people in this room, like for every person on this planet, what is a way or multiple ways that these people could begin to introduce or reintroduce, I should say, that feminine energy into their lives that they may be either ignoring or rejecting, or you know what I'm trying to say?
I know exactly what you're trying to say.
Because I feel like societally, a lot of men, men specifically, there's a lot of pushback to a lot of that kind of stuff because of how men feel that they should be, or whether it's society told them to be that way, or whatever it may be. And also plenty of women as well, reject their feminine energy.
Energy is just fucked up in society.
Exactly.
It's fucked up. But like in reality, it's the most important thing.
So I guess maybe we start by saying, like, what is feminine energy to you?
Love, compassion, intuition, nurturing, empathy. Remember, it's like, I forgot to finish. This is going to relate. But the eye of Ra and Horus thing.
Right.
The whole point of the myth is that we are dual beings. But they also, on another level, there's multiple levels to these esoteric symbols, and like you have the myth version, which is like the eye coming from the sun, and then the eye of the moon, and it's like more magical, more intuitive, logical. But then you also have you have the right sides of the brain. It's symbolic of that, but it's also symbolic of intuition and logic. Intuition or magical thinking or creativity is the feminine energy. Logic, problem solving, assertiveness, like getting shit done, creating solutions, logical, reasonable thinking. That's the masculine side.
Right.
And our society has begun to believe that it's like, oh, in order to be feminine, like you got to make sure like dinner's ready for your husband when he comes home, or you got to like, you got to do this, you got to that. And masculine means you got to go out and like get jacked and like work a blue collar job.
Be a breadwinner.
Yeah, be a breadwinner and like make more money than your partner. It's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. That's not what it means.
No,
that's not what it means.
Well,
it's about consciousness energy.
Yeah, I think to piggyback off that too, what we have done in society is, rather than all of us reconciling both of those energies within ourselves, we have split society and thought like, well, if that's true and the left brain is logic, the right brain is intuition, then all the men need to be logical and breadwinners and solve problems and whatever, and all the women need to be, nurturing and loving, and that's that. And together we'll come together in society and it'll be great. But hey, guess what? It's not working.
And
it's not working.
And like to add to that,
because I think everybody should strive
for both,
or
a balance of both.
Yeah, in themselves. Yeah.
It's like the whole point of the wisdom of the sages is like being in balance.
Yeah,
it's the middle path. It's reconciling the two opposites. That's the whole point of the magician or the alchemist. It's reconciling these two energies and harnessing this force. It's like the Jedi. They're bad at. Oh shit, we're holding lightsabers. Look, it's like the Jedi. Like they're these badass fucking warriors of light, but they're compassionate and seek to protect and preserve peace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
it's
why
like
the Jedis are the coolest.
Yeah, they really are. Like they're literally one of the coolest things ever made up.
Because they wield ultimate cosmic power,
yeah,
but they use it for love and nurturing and peace.
Peace. Yeah.
That is fucking epic, dude.
It is, dude.
Why do you think we reference Star Wars on every episode of this show?
Because it's metaphorically true.
Because it is true. It is
true.
Real shit.
Well, I think we've said this on the show, but George Lucas did, or excuse me, there was that documentary we keep talking about, Empire of Dreams, and they straight up say, like, George Lucas read Joseph Campbell's books, which are very deep, esoteric books about comparative mythologies and breaking down all of the esoteric similarities between the mythologies and turning them into these archetypes. And like Star Wars is literally storyboarded by these ancient occult concepts.
Oh yeah,
like he was putting that shit in it on purpose.
No doubt,
it's not a coincidence.
So yeah, that's the question that I'm asking is like for people who might be, listening or watching this, and are hearing us say like, you should really strive to reconcile your masculine and feminine energy, whether it's someone trying to exude more feminine energy, someone, whatever. What advice would we give to those people on the ways that you could recognize that feminine energy?
Unlock the trauma blocks around your heart. Like I think probably 99 to 100% of people in this life had some sort of formative traumatic event when they were in their younger years. And by the way, this is totally like irrefutable fact. For the first 7 to 8 years of any one human's life, you're in a hypnagogic, like theta brainwave state, which is synonymous with like the brain waves we're in when we're either dreaming or when we're under hypnosis and have suggestible, suggestible predispositions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when we're like literally growing up for the first 7 or 8 years of our life, we're in a hypnotic state.
We're extremely impressionable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Everything leaves an imprint on your soul.
And I believe that every single human being in this realm out there far and wide has had some sort of formative traumatic event in these early years. And it's like,
well, I would say it doesn't always happen in those early years. I think it very, very often does, but it can happen afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, it could happen any time.
Right.
But the reason I bring up the whole science behind the hypnagogic state thing is like, dude, it's like it's virtually inescapable. Like you go to class in kindergarten and one kid laughs at you because you pee your pants. That kind of stuff.
No,
we don't think about it, but
yeah.
it can like knock some foundations out deep in your subconscious and kind of like tear you down to a level to where for the rest of your life you're operating from this trauma response of like, oh man, like I'm like timid to go to the bathroom around people. You know what I mean? Like it fucks with people.
Did I ever tell you that when I was like 5 or 6, I woke up from a nap one time and everybody in my house was gone, and I just like started walking down the road.
I think you told me that one time.
And I got picked up by a stranger.
It's like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I got picked up by a stranger who just happened to be like a good person and brought me back to my house.
Why did they leave you when you were napping?
I have no idea. I think my sister was supposed to be watching me and she just like wasn't or something. But yeah, but I remember like that. I still to this day vividly see and remember that moment. And I wonder if there has been some trauma associated with that. But I totally agree that is one of the most important first steps is like you have to work through your trauma.
Yep.
And I think that often it's in people to not even acknowledge their trauma. They try to run from it. They try to act like they're bigger than it and that it doesn't affect them anymore. Yeah. And
like my grandpa always said, grit your teeth and fucking deal with the pain.
Yeah, white knuckle through it.
He literally told me that.
That's not right. That makes it worse.
Like even yeah, exactly.
It makes it way worse.
That's the whole like toxic. I hate this term, but whatever. It's actually relevant. It's that whole like toxic aspect of masculine culture.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, like I don't.
It's true. It's toxic masculinity.
I don't necessarily believe that like everybody out there is just like toxic masculinity.
No,
but like it does have a place in this reality. Like there are people like,
and especially in the South where we grew up.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say earlier.
Very much.
Like, for people out there listening and they think like, come on, man, people aren't really like that anymore. Yeah, they are.
In the South, they sure are.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are, bro.
And in other places,
you know how many people think, you know how many people in high school probably thought, actually people thought I was gay just because I didn't have a girlfriend.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I was just like a shy kid going through some crazy shit and like didn't know how to express myself.
And even one step further with that assumes that like those people think less of you because you quote unquote are gay.
Exactly.
It is very toxic. And that, just like you're saying, even that shit is traumatic because you're feeling cast out by your peers. You know, you're feeling less than and bullied by your peers because they're picking on you or for whatever reason. It doesn't matter what it is. But yeah, no, the truth is that's the hardest shit to do in life is reconcile with your trauma.
Yeah.
There's nothing harder. So if your idea of masculinity or manliness or whatever is doing hard shit and gritting your teeth and get through it, work through your trauma. That there's nothing harder you'll ever do.
You know what broke me of that, bro? When I got like really good at martial arts and I learned the ultimate truth about combat. Like if I'll tell you guys a secret, like it's not about strength. It's not about like who has the better grit.
Yeah.
It's about technique. Now, and some like untrained, unskilled level of combat, that's true.
That's the whole premise of Wing Chun, which was your shit.
Bruh, it was made by a woman.
A woman, yeah.
Made by a woman who developed this art to be able to take down any opponent bigger than her. And I'm telling you, bro, I've sparred with special forces people and slapped them around.
Yeah.
And I've sparred with others and they slapped me around.
Yeah.
And like my sister is a fucking beast at kung fu, dude.
She'll beat any.
She could beat some ass, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like once I saw through the illusion about like what it means to be in control of your energy and like not afraid of other people who want to attack you or harm you or like be aggressive towards you, bro. Because like if you have hard enough fingers, if you hit that shit against boards or like condition your hands against wood and shit, and someone tries to buck up at you and you just bam 2 fingers right to the throat, that motherfucker might die.
Oh yeah, I've seen videos of like Sifu's breaking people's skulls with 2 fingers.
My Sifu did that.
Yeah, I know.
He broke somebody with one finger. He fractured a
Wasn't it like a guy that came in all like buck?
Yes, he came off Fort Bragg.
He was trying to pick a fight.
He was either an Army Ranger or he was Spec Ops. I can't remember, but he was some sort of special forces type.
He cracked his skull with a finger.
Cracked his fucking skull, yeah. And like he's the kind of dude that could like with one foot stand on a soda can and nobody could push him off the soda can. I have seen him. Oh yeah, dude. He's one of the most lethal guys on the planet. Yeah. I'm so sad we don't talk anymore. But and to get away from the martial arts thing, just like I have seen him with my eyes. For those who don't know, the art that we're referencing was the very art that Bruce Lee studied before he was in America. While he was in China, he came to America. He took the principles of Wing Chun, which he believed was like this incredible art of China, and he created his own art from the principles of Wing Chun, and still uses a lot of their practices like sticking hands, like Chi Sao, and
watch the movie Ip Man. It's pronounced Yip Man, but IP Man. It should be on Netflix. It's all about Wing Chun. It's incredible.
Great movie.
It's incredible.
But the final point I was trying to make here is like my Sifu was, and it helps me to talk about this too because of like the traumatic way I left the school. It was pretty fucked up. But my Sifu was the student of the one and only private student of Yip Man, and my Sifu introduced Bruce Lee as a child to Yip Man. They were young boys like studying kung fu together. So like my Sifu was a bad motherfucker, and I guess the point I'm getting at is I'm so thankful. I mean, in the last episode we talked about like me being obsessed with the Eastern practices and shit. Yeah. And ironically, it was kung fu. It was my deep fascination and my 4-year like fucking discipleship. I mean, do you remember, bro? Like there were so many weekends or weeks I wouldn't hang out. I would go, I would go train 3 or 4 times a week, and then I'd be at home training by myself. I'd be doing secret kung fu techniques while watching Dragon Ball. I watched the entire Dragon Ball series while training kung fu. Yeah. True story. Mm-hmm. I know that's weird, but whatever. Like when I'm into shit, I'm into shit. And point being, when I learned through that illusion that like you can be the biggest, baddest, most loudmouth and obnoxious motherfucker, and one well-placed fucking pinky finger could kill a man. I saw through this bullshit of like, I'm bigger than you, dude. I can beat your ass, you little bitch. You know, like, bro, I have thrown hands with Delta Force killers. Yeah. And we're better than them at Kung Fu. And it's not an ego thing. It's just like, I've seen through that illusion. Get on my fucking level. Like, I don't believe in this toxic masculine bullshit. Yeah. I wear my pretty little shiny fucking crystals, grow my hair.
Pink and purple.
Yeah, like wear my like little high school band. It's fake. It's all an illusion. And like, that's the secret of Kung Fu, dude. It's just like, it's not about trying to dominate another person. It's about being in control or in mastery of your own energy.
And why do you think that you have those impulses to begin with to reject those feminine things? Because you were taught to. That's what they wanted. There was it's microcosmic, because if they can get you to disrespect the women around you, then macrocosmically you have no value in the divine feminine. Because if you don't respect femininity, how could you respect the divine? The divine feminine would sound like complete bullshit to you.
It does to most, I think, initially. Right.
And so to wrap it up,
it sounds evil and pagan, and
it does.
Like, imagine
because they make it sound that way. They want it to sound that way because they don't want us to know about it. Yeah. They want to control us. They want to take the real power away from us, and the real power is the two sides of divinity, masculine and feminine. And so what I would say, just my 2 cents out there, if you are someone who is looking to embrace more of your, and I'll only, I was born as a man, and so my whole life I've had masculinity instilled in me, and finding my femininity and finding that feminine spark of the divine in me is more recent. What I can say is, if you're looking to instill or introduce some of that into your life, like, listen to your friends, like, listen to them, care about them, talk to them about their problems, nurture. Be there for the people that you love. Empathy. Don't be afraid to tell the people that you love that you care about them. Don't be afraid to tell people things that might be hard to talk about, things that might be uncomfortable, or things that might make you feel like a quote unquote sissy, or that shit is bullshit.
I was raised under that. And I'm not
Of
trying
course.
to speak ill of my grandfather. I love him to death, and I miss him so dearly. But
Yeah.
that was one of my biggest childhood traumas, was being raised to believe that I was a sissy if I had my hair too long. And ironically, he always called me curly and said I had such nice curly hair. But like, he would like buy me combs and brushes and shit. And like on my birthday, I remember as a 7-year-old little boy taking me to the barbershop to get my hair cut, and like, sissy this, sissy that, sissy this, sissy that. And now you do this, like, don't it's just crazy to me, man.
He was brainwashed.
He
to
was,
think
and
that
it's
way.
like it's not like he was an evil person.
No.
He was born in the 30s.
That's what he was taught.
Exactly. It's what he was taught by my great grandfather. And like, I forgive him and every ounce of like trauma that I received from that. But you've known me my whole life. I've pretty much always had short hair.
Yeah.
Because I was raised that way.
Mm-hmm.
Did DMT a couple months ago, and it was like the next day I was talking to my wife. I said, I want to grow my hair.
Yeah.
Like,
It's awesome.
I've always wanted to. I've never done it before.
Yeah. It's a new experience.
Yeah, it's like the Native Americans and NASA told us this too. It's like, the hair in your body is like antennas to the senders of signals of consciousness out there in these other realms. Like,
Well, I guess I'm gonna just have to focus on growing the beard out then.
Yeah, do it.
Because this shit ain't happening.
I mean, it's already like a really great place though.
Yeah,
It looks
no,
awesome.
yeah.
You look like a Greek philosopher.
Thanks.
But
Yeah. So embrace the things that you have been told are not okay because they are quote unquote feminine. Like, embrace those things. You've been taught not to embrace those things for a reason. It's because they're afraid that we'll become too powerful when we can recognize the full nature of the divine.
it's love. It's compassion. That's
love each other. Be
it's-
compassionate to each other. That's feminine energy.
Yeah, it's like, that's the whole secret of Jesus, man. Is like, let's explain it in a different way. So, whereas the masculine force of consciousness is kind of like out there creating this reality, like the architect, and we exist within its structure. Remember the secret. The Holy Spirit is really is the divine lady, but the evil fucking Vaticans, the child molesting Vaticans, the ones who fucking slaughtered Jesus. They fucking stabbed him and put him on a cross according to their story, right?
Killed
and they
tens of
tortured him,
thousands of-
and then they tricked all of us fucking idiots into wearing these necklaces where we have an icon of our God bleeding out, and he's like bone thin, and he has nail marks in his fucking rib cages, and he has a crown of thorns making his scalp bleed. It looks like a satanic death metal album.
Yes.
We've been worshiping an icon of our dying God, and like, yes! And every Easter we get together and we cry and we watch the Passion of the Christ. Kill him again! Like, oh my God, he died for me! Like, Christianity, and the Vatican perspective is like this massive fucking warmongering death cult.
100%. It's like death worship.
But the truth, the secret, what the beings told my dad, is that all that shit is not true.
Yeah.
They've been suppressing the truth. It's not about little Mary. It's not about Mary. I don't say this to be blasphemous and offensive. I say this to shock people so hard so that it'll wake them up from these like old archaic beliefs. It's like, I have a respect for the divine.
Yeah, of course.
I don't got to fucking explain myself. I've been through enough shit. But, it's like the truth is that the Holy Spirit, the force of God, the force of consciousness that is in this reality with us, flowing around us, the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, whatever, flowing through us and healing us and making miracles and things manifest and bringing things and us together to like do things and manifest every shit. It's the mother.
Yeah.
It is the magic happens with the mother. The father is like, the father side of God is just up there like creating everything. It's like bro. It's like Gohan and Dragon Ball Superhero. He's like sitting on his computer and he's like, going down to the bugs and like rendering every detail.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's the
Structure
masculine side. Yeah, the thought, the mind.
Yeah.
But the heart, the feeling, the emotion, the power, the force, the attractive energy of the cosmos, that's the mother.
Yeah.
And we live in both. It's complicated. It's too complicated. High level esoteric shit. But I feel good ending there.
Well, yeah. One more thing. One more piece of advice for finding that divine feminine energy. We're a couple of dudes, So go out there and spend some time with some women. Go out there and talk to the women in your life. Shout out Cairo Yoga Flow. Shout out Rose Quarks.
Oh, yeah. I actually want both of them on.
Yeah, there are a couple
Both
of the
very
really,
knowledgeable, very intelligent.
yeah, they're really epic
content
women
creators.
in our Discord community. We love you guys so much. You're the best. But yeah, spend more time with the women in your life. Listen to them and learn, observe. You know.
Yeah, and don't be like all my ancestors that just sit there and like let women say something and then be like, get back in the fucking kitchen and make me dinner and make me a cup of coffee.
We don't vibe with that.
Don't be like that.
Nah, we don't vibe with that.
That's just it's ridiculous. It's pathetic. It's in my opinion, it's pathetic for a man to be so egotistical or so obnoxious that he believes that like, oh, I'm more dominant than this lesser life form, so I don't have to listen to them or take them seriously or like have a shred of fucking compassion for them.
That's weakness.
It's weakness.
That's weakness.
It's pathetic.
It's pathetic.
It's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic.
Yeah, yeah. What makes you fuck? Yeah, it's totally pathetic. Yeah.
Women, like I don't want to sound like cringe here, but damn, dude. Like, why do you think the Greeks were making all these busts, bro, of all these women?
You're
because
welcome.
they're beautiful. They're fucking like, come on,
angelic.
Man. Like, it's like
cosmic.
Let's make some, baby. Like,
okay.
All right, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Love you guys.
All right. Ha!
Wait, I want to do it too.
We're doing Dragon Ball Z Star Wars Power Up.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more, check out our other videos.
And before you go, don't forget to subscribe. See you next week.
Peace.